It's my 26th birthday, one of which I share with my father on June 20th. Thank you. And on this particular birthday, my family decided to celebrate at Chili's. And while we're there, my mother orders this huge, gigantic Presidente Margarita with the Corona stuck right into it, all for herself. So by the time we get home, she's what you would call turned up. And she continues to want to get turned up in celebration of my birthday. And so I try to make a run for it. But I couldn't get away fast enough, so then I found myself sitting directly across from her, gripping onto my little beer for dear life, as she had hers, a Corona with a lime in it, of course. So she clinks my bottle and says, "Happy birthday," takes a sip, and then continues to proceed. She decides to, in order to celebrate my birthday, she's gonna tell me the story of how I was born. It was in Austin, Texas. She was in a hospital by herself. She was cradling me in her arms, and she showed me this by cradling the Corona in her arms. And she rocked it back and forth, so then my eyes just watched the line move back and forth. As she said, "You're my baby. I named you Diana, you're my baby." Now she's in the hospital by herself, and she watched on the TV screen with Princess Diana on it, just riding the carriage in the way, and she thought to herself, "I want my daughter to be just like her, rich, beautiful, and married Prince Charming." You see, my mother at the time was a year into being in this country as a refugee from Vietnam. She came here by herself with no family, no support system, and she was in a hospital bed by herself, and she had me. So as she was telling me the story with tears running down her eyes, I thought about it. All these years, every single birthday, how much she sacrificed for me. I wanted to console her, I wanted to hold her, and as I was getting ready to do just that, she just begins to wipe her tears like she's about to say something, and I'm ready for it. I think maybe it's another part of the story that I don't know, maybe a revelation that she's gonna share for this particular birthday. And then she says, "You hate the men, huh?" You hate, what did you say? She says it again. "You hate the men, huh? Mom knows you like the women, you hate the men." I was speechless. I didn't know how to react. What do I do in this very moment? I had thought about it all these years. And in the 15 seconds that I held my jaw just like this, there were all these thoughts that went into my head, all these years when I was depressed and contemplated suicide because I couldn't bring myself to tell my mother that I'm queer, that I'm not who she wants me to be. I was shaking and scared. I thought to myself, there's no coming out book for this, that when your mama gets too turned and then asks you if you hate the men, huh? This is what you do. There was no book for that. So I panicked, and I didn't know what I was gonna say until I said it, so I opened my mouth, and the words left my mouth, and I said, "Yes, Mom, I like the women." And I waited. I thought there was gonna be a fury of anger coming at me. And instead, my mom says, Mom know for 5 years now. Mom not stupid, Mom knows. You know, it's that thing that mothers do where they tell you mothers know everything, but you think, nah, they don't know everything. And then you realize that when you grow up, yeah, they actually do know everything. So I thought, she knows for 5 years. I tried everything that I could to just to hide myself, to not tell her any part of my life. I limited my trips to Home Depot. I didn't wear button-ups. I didn't introduce her to anybody, but here she has known for 5 years. And then I didn't know what she was gonna say next. The next thing she said just dropped me. She said, "You know, Mom don't know why there's so many gays. They're a gay, he a gay, she a gay, everybody a gay. Whereas before, not a lot of gay." So I take this moment to share with her. Well, I think it's because Now people can share who they are, and there's no way else other to be true to yourself. Because there have been people who risk their life to be honest about who they are, and every day, and we're in this moment to be so many a gay. And I thought to myself, maybe this is a gateway for me to share more about the LGBTQ community. Maybe I can give her some facts or stories that I can tell so that we can keep going with this conversation in the direction that I would like to go. But instead, my mom once again drops it on me. She says, oh, Mom knows about the gays. I said, how do you know about the gays? She said, oh, Mom go gay clubbing with the gay boys in West Hollywood. Mom knows about the gays. Who took Mom to the gay club? Could you imagine this petite Asian woman getting nasty on the dance floor to Beyonce at the gay club? And I had to think about this one. I said, how does she end up going gay clubbing? Now here's how it happened. She's a nail salon worker. She interacts with gay men, trans women, and lesbian women. They go to her for services, and along with that, they share their stories, their heartaches, their relationships, their triumphs, and then they end up taking her to the gay club. That's what happened. And I thought about this. She spent 5 years learning about me through other people, trying to figure this all out. This refugee from Vietnam who had no access to this kind of information, and she put in that work to do that. Where all this time I didn't know that was happening. I felt proud of her and also terrified. So I wasn't expecting how this conversation is gonna go next. And then she says, so any Vietnamese? Because if I'm gonna be a gay, there better be some Vietnamese in the mix. There better be some Vietnamese. So I started stammering. I started listing them out. I said, oh, some Vietnamese, but Filipino, Latino. And I started to realize if I kept listing, this conversation's gonna go down a route about relations and how I have relations, and I wasn't ready for that part of the conversation just yet. So then I quickly haste myself because there's been burning questions that I have, which is, how do you feel? Do you hate me? Do you want to disown me? She takes a sip of her Corona, the last sip of the bottle. She looks at me and says, oh, just live your life. Just live your life. And I thought about this as I pondered the lyrics to Rihanna. What exactly did she mean by that? She didn't answer the question. And you must be wondering, well, what's happened since that conversation the morning after? Well, it was awkward, as most morning afters are. We looked at each other, and I knew that our relationship entered a new realm of which I didn't know where it was gonna go. It's been 7 years since, and there's been trials and tribulations, growing pains and challenges. And she's going through that process, a dual process of grieving the Diana that she wished that she had had, or she was letting go of that idea of this rich, beautiful, and married to Prince Charming, and also getting to know Dia, this queer, empowering woman of color. And we're going through this, exactly. And as she's going through that process, what she was telling me to live my life is that I should just keep on living my life as she's figuring this all out, and that we'll figure it out together, that she may not be where I need her to be, and may not be where she needs me to be, but we'll get there again. And we'll have to all figure it out together. That in this process, I will continue to be me, to love who I want to love, and to just be free. So from my mother's words to all of your hearts, just live your life.